Hello everyone, welcome to another Rick's Picks. Today I'm going to be doing my review of the G.I. Joe classified vehicle, the Ferret ATV with Scout. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at it in packaging first, and then I'm going to take a look at the Scout that comes with the ATV, and then I'm going to do any kind of assembly, and then we're going to take a look at it and all of its accessories and play features. So just remember, if you do like this video, go ahead and check out my G.I. Joe playlist and hit that like, share, and subscribe. They're all small clicks for you, but it really helps this channel grow. So without any further ado, let's get to the review. So here it is in packaging. I do like the packaging for it. So first off, you got your age restrictions up here. You got your choking hazard warning here. You get this nice picture of the Scout on the Ferret. You get this open window here so you can see the figure and all her accessories. You got the Cobra logo, the name of the Scout and the Ferret. Okay. You got the G.I. Joe classified logo and Hasbro. Spin it around this way. You get this nice picture of the Scout, the G.I. Joe classified logo, and her number. Spin it around this way. You get her number again, the Ferret, Scout, and Cobra Ferret ATV. You get this nice picture of the Scout, all her accessories, and the ATV. You get some features of the ATV. You get its stats, and then you got some legal underneath. And then you have this side as well, where you get the QR code, her number, stats, and the G.I. Joe logo. Spinning around to the top, you get her number, the Cobra logo, and then last but not least, you get the underneath that has your SKU and more legal. So with all that being said, let's open her up and see what she's about. If you're going to be in the Philadelphia area from September 7th and 8th, then you got to check out RetroCon 2024 at the Philadelphia Expo Center. They have lots of great tables and vendors selling all sorts of retro action figures and collectibles. Plus, they have guests, arcade games, contests, panels, and much, much more. In honor of 40 years of Transformers, they will have a 40-year anniversary display stand that you could take pictures with. Special guests will be including Anson Williams, who played Potsy in Happy Days, Don Moss, who played Ralph from Happy Days and also played Eric from Dungeons & Dragons, the cartoon. Actor Lee Majors will also be there, best known for playing the $6 Million Man and the Fall Guy. He was also in Ash vs. the Evil Dead and The Night the Reindeer Died. So not only do they have the $6 Million Man, but they also have Lindsay Wagner, the Bionic Woman. Greetings, Starfighter! Lance Guest will also be appearing, best known as starring in the movie The Last Starfighter, and also appearing in both Halloween 2 and Jaws the Revenge. And right next to him will also be Catherine Mary Stewart, best known for The Last Starfighter and also known for Night of the Comet and Weekend at Bernie's. Voice actor Michael Bell will also be there, known for being the voice of Duke, Prowl, and other iconic 80s characters. The tag team wrestling sensation, the Nasty Boys, will also be there. And after RetroCon, head on over to Arnold's where you can see the rock band Cybernetic Spree. Hurry up and get your tickets now because they sell out quick. So first we're going to start with the Scout. She's a really cool looking figure. I like the color code to her. So she has like this gray with like this blue, which looks really cool with the black. So I like the overall look to her. So first off, let's give her the rotation. All right. All right, and now let's start looking at some of her details up close. So first off, you can notice that she's wearing like a biker outfit here, like not so much an armor, but like padding that you would wear when you're riding an ATV or a dirt bike or something, which is really nice. Has the Cobra logo right here in the middle. She has the black mask with the gray hood. Look around the back. You get this white detail on top of black, which isn't too bad. You go down to her boots. You got a blue with white. Then you have your black. Her gun holster is falling off, which I notice is always a common thing with some of these G.I. Joe figures, is that, like, you know, stuff like this slides down, you know, or slides up. So it's easily fixed. So she doesn't have that many odd details or, you know, extreme detail. But overall, she's still a cool looking figure. She comes with a couple of accessories for her. So first off, she comes with this bike helmet. I really like the design to this. Now, if you look at the helmet, you can see on the sides, you got snake fangs, which is kind of cool. And it's kind of designed into the front of her helmet as well. Let's give it a rotation. I think I would have liked to have seen them do more with this. Like, they have this basic design that almost looks like a snake head. I think it would have been cool if they would have, like, put in, like, eyes or something to really highlight that her helmet's supposed to be a snake head, instead of just throwing some fangs there, because they kind of look misplaced to me. And that's just my personal opinion. So, next up is her knife. All right. So she has a knife here. I think I would have liked to have seen the blade be silver. Just that little extra added detail. But usually when they do the knives for these figures, they don't add stuff like that. And she comes with 2 pistols. Alright. So she comes with this pistol here. Alright. And this pistol here. Alright. So first off, now that I have them in her hands, let's go through the points of articulation with her. So her head does spin. Okay. You got a shoulder joint with a bicep swivel. You got an elbow joint. And you have a wrist joint. And get those arms up. They're a little tight. She has a joint right here underneath the rib cage. Alright, spins pretty well. And a joint here at the belt. And that spins pretty good as well. Alright, you got a thigh joint with a swivel. You have a double knee joint. You have a swivel at the top of the boot. And then you also have an ankle joint. Alright. So all our joints move pretty easily. I don't have any issues with them. They're not really tight. They're not really loose. So now let's get back to the weapons. We're going to start off with the pistols. Alright. Her fingers open up very easily. I don't have any problems with that. That's been one of the things I've always liked about these classified figures, is that the fingers open up really easy, really well. Makes it a lot easier to get like weapons into her hands and what have you, opposed to really fighting like really hard fingers and what have you. So both pistols fit very well in her hands, no issues. The finger does fit in the triggers. All right, so no issues with the guns fitting in her hands. And then she has the 2 holsters. So she has this side holster that wants to keep on falling. Put that gun in here, just like that. Went in without any issues. And then get her arm up. You got a reverse carry holster right here. We'll pop that in there. Alright, no issues with getting that in there as well, except this seems extremely loose on her. Like, I've had problems with these things sliding before, but this one really wants to slide down. So now that we got the 2 guns in place, let's try the knife. Alright. Knife fits a little loose in her hand. Hey, let's get this hand down. Like, let's see if I can wiggle it. Yeah, see how loose that knife fits in there? Does fit in her hand. You know, it's just a little bit on the loose side. And she has, right here, she has a boot holster for it. Boop. So, fits really nicely in the boot holster. No issues with that. And last but not least, the helmet. Alright. A little bit of a tight fit, but that's good. So the helmet fits on her very well. I don't have any issues with the helmet. So overall, I like the figure. I think she's a good figure. Definitely worth having with the rest of your Cobra troops. Alright, so let's start putting this thing together. First off, you got your directions here. Alright, I like how they do the directions. It has a reminiscent of the old G.I. Joe directions where you got this red on black. I really like the look of that. And you open it up, it shows the assembly. Assembling this thing won't be that hard. The only thing that seems to be a little bit tricky is, if you look here on the directions, it says the V's are supposed to be facing down, not up. Alright, so we'll grab one of our tires here. See how the V pattern goes down? You don't want it this way. So let's put this one on first. Alright, so I guess it goes on this side. Pops on, really easy. No issues. Alright. This one pops on over here. Alright, so that's that side. And this one, alright, clicks into place. And boom. Alright, so all four wheels click on really easy. No issues. Got some really cool suspension on here. I like that. So next, it shows that you're supposed to assemble this. It's already on, so obviously we don't have to put it on. We'll put the front guard on next. So how it goes is this tow cable here goes on the bottom. Okay. Now if you look at it from this side, you can see these are smaller pegs, larger pegs. Goes in accordance with the front. You got two large peg holes there, two small peg holes underneath. Alright. That sits in there really nice. Alright, snug. Next we'll do the yoke. So here we got the yoke for the bike. Alright, so the light here will be facing out. Computer in. There we go. No issues with that. Alright, that. Next, we'll be doing the missiles. So how this is set up is, if you look at this, there's kind of like a cone shape here. All right, and these are smaller. This is the smaller size, so this will go up against the bike. You have two holes right here. All right. So that's how that sits in there. Now, where's the other side? Oh, here's the other side. Yeah, okay, so all the goofy stuff goes on top. Alright, this is a real snug fit. Looks like you get a little bit of a gap there. I don't want to force them in. So you do have a little bit of a gap here. I don't know if that's by design or is it just because they're a little hard. If you look on this side, not as much of a gap. I might have to use something to press that in there. So if I don't want to really force it because I don't feel like breaking it. So you do get a little bit of a gap there. You got your two missiles. So 1 and 2. That one will go on this side. Alright, put that on. No issues. And then now you got this side. No issues. So now you got this front piece here. Okay, I see an error that I did. This actually is supposed to hook up on here first. Alright. Oh, this goes like this. Okay. So see that fits through there first. And now that goes on. So that was on me. And luckily it comes off and on pretty easily, so it isn't an issue. There it goes. All right, and last but not least is now the cannon. So there's a hook right here that this cannon just clips onto. Just like that. All right, no issues. And then you hook the actual gun onto that eventually. Oops. All right, so that's kind of a bugger. So what it is this thing really wants to move around. All right, hold up. You know what? It might be easier just to do it this way. All right, so it's a little bit easier to mount this onto the gun first and then clip it on, just because of the fact that it wants to go back and forth. Well, once you got it on, it's on, which really works. And it looks like you could swap it from any of these rungs. So if you want it on this side, you could have it on this side. If you want to swap it over to the other side, just as well. You could do that just as well. So it's interchangeable. So overall, this thing was pretty easy to put together. I didn't have any issues with that whatsoever. So now that we have this fully put together, let's give this a really good look over. All right, let's put her over here. So let's take a look at the front, the sides, back, the other side. Take a look at it from the top, and then take a look at it from the bottom. Now they got a lot of really cool detail on this. So if you look here, you can see that, you know, XP 1000 Cobra. You look, shoot, that little guard gets in the way. You got some, you know, missile launching information there. You can see the computer screen for the yoke, which is really nice. All right, the yoke does move. Same with the forward cannon. Now, if I remember, and I could be wrong on this, on the original one, I think when you move the yoke, you actually move the cannons too. Don't quote me on that. It's been a while since I've actually played with the original one. But overall, it's still cool. You can still move the yoke. You can still move the cannons. So that's not an issue. You get this nice little ATV design here, which I kind of like that. All right, on this side, you see the engine, which is really nice. You got the nose steps on either side. The missiles come off and on very easily, so I don't have any issues with that. The cannon moves around pretty well. The only thing is this piece here, if you pop the cannon off, and you're going to go put it back on, it moves a lot, so it makes it a little bit difficult to put back on, but it's not a major concern. I'm not worried about that. All right, take a good look at it from behind. Now the suspensions on this is really nice, so let me move that suspension a little bit. So that works really well. I like how the suspension works on this. Now, one thing that's a little bit of a disappointment to me, if I can remember right with the original ones, on the original Ferret, this actually came off. You can pop that off and you can see the engine in there. This, you can't do that. It's not a major issue, but it would have been cool if they would have kept to that. So overall, this is a neat little vehicle. I think it would be maybe cool if they put a tow hitch on here, that winch, that it could actually function, but I'm not majorly concerned about that either. She rolls really well. So overall, it's a cool little vehicle. I really like it. Now let's see how well the Scout actually works on this. So you get her arms up, get her legs in a riding position, and get her sitting down on this, move her forward. All right, let's see how well her hands go on these. His hands get, all right, so cool. Her hands fit on there pretty well. Get those legs up. All right, so as you can see, she fits on there pretty well. I think she sits a little bit forward, a little much. I think it would be nice if I could get her to come back just a hair. Let's really extend these arms. Get her really sitting on here. So, yeah, so she really sits forward on this, you know. But then again, if you really think about it, the original Ferret toy was actually meant for 2 figures, because most of the time when you were using the Ferret, you actually had the twins on it, Tomax and Samont, so you'd always have the 2 of them on there together. So I guess it's only fitting that she does sit forward on this a little bit, but overall she sits on her nice, snug, have no issues with that. So my overall thoughts is this is a neat little piece. I really like it. I think it will go really well with the rest of your G.I. Joe classified figures and what have you. The figure herself is a new figure. She wasn't part of the original line, but she's still a cool looking figure. I like her overall aesthetics. I think the only issue I have with her is if they were going to do this fang detail on her helmet, I think they should have made her helmet look a little bit more like a snake than just having these random fangs hanging out in her realm of vision. As a figure, all her joints move very well. They're not really loose. You know, I didn't need to use any hot water on any of her joints. I think she's a good looking figure. She goes well with the bike itself. As for the ATV, I found no real flaws with it. Rolls really well. It assembles pretty easily. All of its, you know, play features work pretty well. Any issues I have with it is minor stuff, like maybe the winch could work. I think that would have been cool. And I would have liked to have seen this back piece here be able to come off and see the engine, sort of like the original toy. But other than that, that's just all minor stuff. Overall, I think it's really cool looking. Definitely look great with the rest of your Cobra figures and what have you. So with that being said, I hope you all did like this review. If you did, go ahead and check out my G.I. Joe playlist and hit that like, share, and subscribe button. They're all small clicks for you, but it really helps this channel grow. So until the next one, late.